it's not enough to just survive something, right? Like, that's not the point of life. You've got to thrive, you've got to feel happy, and I think I really tried to adopt this British sensibility of a stiff upper lip.
It has its, advantages, I guess.
I really tried, but I think that what that does internally is probably really damaging, and the biggest thing that I know is that I never thought that this would be easy, but I thought it would be fair.
That, dear listeners, was the Duchess Slut Bucket talking back in 2019, when she said that having a stiff upper lip was harmful and that it was internally damaging. This video is intended to destroy this ridiculous coastal city self-love, sit in a wigwam and practice your breathing while some beardy bloke talks to you about karma bollocks that has unquestionably ruined the lives of tens of millions of people. It's time for us to cancel, I use the word advisedly, the ludicrous, inane fiction that crying in public, embracing being a big, fat, saggy, buffalo-arsed troglodyte that does nothing but watch Netflix and eat pints of Ben & Jerry's, that is a good idea. No, what we need to do is embrace stoicism, the values of our parents and grandparents, and the idea that self-reliance and self-discipline can lead you to a better place. And I've gathered some data together to try and make the case in a sensible and professional manner, rather than simply rip the piss out of Slime Slot Sussex and her rusty bollocked shit-for-brains husband. I'm trying to make the case here, seriously, because if you're listening to this and you're an adherent of the woke religion and you've spent the last few years being an emotionally incontinent, histrionic, shrieking schoolboy or girl, I want you to take note of it, because I want you to be happy, you poor fool. You have been misled by the wellness cult. And here's Exhibit A. New data reveals massive spike in self-harm and suicide calls amongst adolescents. The Washington Poison Center analysed call data between 2019 and 2021 and found that reports of self-harm and suicide by adolescents jumped 58%. Well, blow me down with a feather. Here we've got a generation that have been indoctrinated by sparrow-brained wokists for the last 5 or 6 years, aggressively so. And lo and behold, they all want to fling themselves off a railway bridge. They don't want to go to the gym. They don't want to make a plan of action for what they want to achieve in life. They want to slash their own arms and sit there listening to emo music. What else have we got? Suicide rates in the United States between the year 2000 and the year 2020. Funny old thing, it's risen from 17.7 per 100,000 people up to a high of 22.8 in 2018, which is probably about the peak of the woke movement. Far from embracing the self-love, you go girlfriend, strong woman, body like a bin liner full of coleslaw nonsense. Since embracing all of that, has the suicide and the self-harm rate gone down, or has it gone up? And here's a good piece from The Atlantic, which used to be sane a decade ago and is now peddling the same woke claptrap as almost every other in-print publication. Why did we buy what Victoria's Secret was selling? The brand sold itself using an upside-down logic that women need to suffer to be deemed desirable. Well, I'll tell you why we bought it. Mrs. Gilbert. Miss Gilbert. She's not going to be married, is she? She's going to be a bitter, miserable cat lady with no wedding ring, no children, and a gash like a burst mattress. So, I'll tell you why, love. We bought it because it worked. And it's not women needing to suffer to be desirable. It's all of humanity. Life is a mixture of pleasure and pain, yin and yang, light and dark. If you want to enjoy 10 pints on a Saturday while you watch the rugby, well, you best be willing to get on the treadmill for a couple of hours come Monday morning. If you want to achieve a nice state of balance in your life. Balance is everything. We bought it because it was good for us. Look at the numbers. What is embracing self-love? You go, girlfriend. Roll out of bed. Dance around the kitchen in your knickers with a pint of ice cream. What has that brought us? For those of you that haven't seen it, prepare yourselves.
Touch those dials. We're listening to the hottest hits of 2020.
Clean, mean, do my thing. I'ma shake it up, make a scene. You know I run the show. I've been doing this solo, dolo. Boom, pow, watch me now. I got something gonna show you how. Boom, pow, watch me now. This is how I do it. Watch me do this. I'ma teach you something. Let me show you how. This is how I do it. I'ma do this. I got something for you. Better watch me now. This is how I do it.
See all those shoulds there? That was a lot of solid advice, that. Yes, you should stop eating mayonnaise directly out of the jar with a spoon, you dippy fucking mare. So I trust that I've made my case. The data proves the lie behind the words of these maniacs. The self-love gurus, qualified life coach. You know for a fact that this silly mare has been in rehab about 8 times. She doesn't talk to her parents, and her life is a complete train wreck. She's probably turning tricks for fish fingers, and she's going to try and give me life advice. Look at this shit. Self-love allows you to reach a new level of security and happiness. What, living in a wheelie bin and getting fingered for pocket change? I think that's neither safe nor happy. Cast out the idea that you have to be perfect. Societal expectations are unrealistic. What's unrealistic about it? It's like when you see a poster of a skinny, slim, attractive woman. Ooh, that's unrealistic. No, that's a real human. They don't CGI the attractive women on lingerie posters. They exist. So what's unrealistic about it? If it was a fucking android selling you knickers, then I'd understand it. But it isn't. There's millions of people that are at a healthy weight. There's millions of people that exercise. There's millions of people that aren't drug addicted, chain smoking, coffee drinking, fat fuckers. It's not that difficult. Don't live in the moment. Plan for the future. Don't embrace the fact you can't. In fact, you know what? This list would be good if you just added don't at the start of every bloody sentence. Try harder. I can do it in 2 words. How to improve your life? Try harder. So there's the numbers, folks. Make of it what you will. But here's some friendly advice. Stop listening to shit for brains like Meghan Markle. Stop taking life advice from the dumbest fucking people on planet Earth. If you've got problems in your life, identify them and then come up with a plan to rectify the issues. Eat clean, do some exercise, try harder. Because all this total bollocks does is ruin your life. And of course you don't have to look like a Victoria's Secret model. But getting on a bike and eating a protein bar is going to be much better for your long-term health than getting on a sailor's balls and eating your 12th cock of the day. These people hate you. I keep making the point. These people do not want you to be happy. If they did, they wouldn't talk bollocks all of the time. You are made of sterner things than you know. Your great-great-great-grandparents tilled the fields, worked in coal mines and went over the top. You have within you the capability to deal with anything that life throws at you, and you do it by gritting your teeth, telling yourself that you are made of sterner stuff than you realise, and then taking steps to make your life better. You don't make it better by listening to these fuckwits and crying all the time. That was unusually serious for me. I think I kept it to less than 50 swear words. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all for a live stream at 7 PM tonight. Cheers.